After speaking to many food delivery drivers, this is the latest version of the zero gravity food caddy I've come up with. It does both food and drinks. And this particular, again, this is a prototype. It is patent pending. The patent was filed August of last year. And this particular design uses a round bar. The next one is going to use a flat one. It makes it much easier to mount directly to the headrest. It also makes it much easier to put a hook on the end. I was testing different hooks, and I had to mount a bracket onto here that I could attach different hooks to as I was testing what kind of hooks work the best. But it just came to my attention it's going to be very difficult for in the final product to attach the hook well, and unless it's welded directly, and that's just an additional step that may not be needed. With this thing, I could just easily drill a hole on the end and attach a hook directly to it, and it would be perfect. The basket you use, this is just a little Tupperware top, and I'm using it to show the gravitational effects it'll have on a bowl of ramen soup. I'll put some carrots in there so you guys can see the effect it's going to have when I try to spill this stuff when I'm driving around. But if you're delivering pizzas, you just have a square plate, and you can just stack pizza boxes on top of it, delivering as many as you want. If you're delivering drinks, if you saw the first prototype video, I had double hangers going in the back with 2 trays. Each tray had a dozen 16-ounce drinks filled to the very top, and it worked perfectly. So, if you're delivering drinks, you just attach a drink tray to it. If you're delivering pizzas, the flat tray. If you're, going to a restaurant and you pick up your kung pao chicken and they deliver it to you in a package with a sack, you just hook the sack directly onto the hook. You don't even use a basket. I'm sure that's how most of the time it's going to work. But after talking to a lot of drivers, it's the drinks that were the most difficult to carry. So the drink trays are going to be really popular, I think. The principle works this in terms of how it works. It applies to no matter what you're delivering. If you're delivering pizzas, the sausage and cheese isn't going to slide off if you have to brake really hard. If you got a bowl of soup and that's sitting in a package static on your seat and you hit the brakes, even if that package doesn't move, it's going to slide out of the bowl or tip over or spill. If you're driving, you'll have to put your hand down to prevent it from going into the floorboard, and that takes your eyes off the road. If you don't, it goes into the floorboard anyway, and then you look down at the floorboard at everything that just spilt all over your new clean carpets. All the while, you got to look ahead of you at the car about to slam into the front because you had to take your eyes off the road because they were looking after the food or drinks that they were delivering, and it took their eyes off the road. So it's not just the quality of the food coming in better, but it's a big safety factor, which is the bigger issue and more convenient for the drivers. If you are using a basket, when you get there, you just take the handle, pick it up, takes off right off the hook, and you just deliver the whole thing straight up to the door. Now I'm going to drive around the block right now, and in the process, I want to pretend that some idiot pulled out of his driveway right in front of me. Hopefully it doesn't happen for real. And show you just the gravitational effects and try to imagine what would happen to this if this was just setting in your seat or even in the floorboard. What would happen to the food? Would it spill? What does that mean for cleaning up after the fact? What does it mean to the customer who doesn't get their food delivered when they want? You'll notice while the food may move around, and that's the purpose, it stays static in the container. Not a drop of this was spilled. If some idiot just pulled out in front of me and I have to slam on the brakes, the food stays perfectly still. It doesn't move. And just so you know, watch, so you don't think this is like or something. This is really there. Okay. And that's about 1 inch deep, and I filled it to this, almost to the rim. This has a little edge here, so if we do spill it, and I just did it myself, but if any spills, you'll be able to see it collected in this ring around it, just to kind of test it. But again, we're gonna go around the block here, and just you can see the effect, turning left, turning right. The food stays perfectly centered in the container it comes in, and nothing spills at all. Nothing ends up in your seats, nothing ends up in your floorboard, and your eyes stay focused on the road. All the food delivery services, all the big boys, they all do the exact same thing. They deliver somebody else's food from point A to point B, and the drivers are really doing all the work. And they're the ones who have to deal with the transportation logistics of doing that job. And again, I've talked to many of them to get their feedback on what they think, and they are really psyched about this. And I hope any drivers who happen to see this can retweet this, because I am trying to get this to market. And if there's anybody, at Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash or anyone in that same market that is trying to grow that business, while price may be the only thing that currently sets you apart, if you had an exclusive on this patented project or this patented product, it could give you a distinct edge. You could sell these things in the stores as well and put your name on them. And when people, deliver your food from Chili's, it could come in a little basket that says, Grubhub or Uber Eats or DoorDash delivers to you or whatever. But think about I think for safety, it could make insurance rates cheaper for drivers. It'll make, if the customer knows that, you're using the zero gravity food caddy, then they know their food is going to get delivered, and it's going to be in, it's not going to be jumbled together. They know it's going to be safer for the driver, and I think it's a win-win for everybody. Again, it's a very simple design. I have even a double hanger that hangs all the way across, that you can put like 3 trays across the back if you're doing catering and stuff, or if you're delivering from multiple restaurants, or you can just do individual hangers on each individual seat. There's several designs. I have, again, patent pending, all the different layout types, but I am trying to get this to market. And if you saw this and think it looks cool, please retweet it or give it a thumbs up or pass it on. If you are somebody who can make a decision like this, please contact me. It is not easy to get an appointment with the heads of these different companies, and I would really appreciate any opportunity I have to speak with someone who can see the potential in this. I appreciate you watching, and I thanks for it. With the coronavirus going on right now, home food delivery has never been more important, and this could really help. I hope it could. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.